The first two Qantas planes will leave the United Kingdom tomorrow evening Australian time. They will be carrying with them up to 4 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine. This is part of an arrangement that's been secured between Prime Minister Morrison and his UK counterpart Boris Johnson. The first of those flights will actually be a repatriation flight from London to Howard Springs, as well as bringing stranded Australians home. It will also contain these doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Scott Morrison wouldn't be pinned down today on exactly how much this will speed up Australia's process to getting to 70 and 80% vaccination across the country. But it is clear that we will get there quicker as long as every Australian who wants to get the jab goes out and makes an appointment. Take a listen to Scott Morrison with this announcement.
We are doubling down on what the Pfizer doses are here in Australia this month. This will enable us to bring forward significantly the opportunity for Australia to open up again under the national plan. The bring forward of these doses, I think, should be a great cause for hope right around the country. The doses will be distributed across the states and territories on a per capita basis so they can all get on with it.
And Trudy, National Cabinet is meeting as we speak. Scott Morrison has accused the Queensland Premier of misreading modelling by the Doherty Institute.
It's the culmination of many days in a row now of back and forth between the Morrison government and the Queensland Premier. She's found herself in the eye of the storm here politically after two separate comments. One where she said children under 12 would be at risk if she reopens the border, even at a higher vaccination rate, because they haven't been vaccinated under the plan. But also yesterday she tweeted some claims about the number of people who would die of COVID based on the Doherty modelling. Scott Morrison saying today that's a misreading of the actual information that's there. Behind the scenes today, they will have a chance to actually speak to the Doherty Institute modellers themselves. So these questions can be resolved behind the scenes. But in the press conference, it's pretty clear neither side backing down.
I'm asking very simple questions here of Scott Morrison and from the National Cabinet. I want to see further detailed modelling. It is only fair and reasonable that we have a constructive debate in this country. And rather than picking fights and attacks, let's have a decent, educated conversation.
Well, I think that would be a misreading of the Doherty analysis, and I think there would be a good opportunity for her to pursue that with Professor McVernon today. The worst case scenario is not the plan. That's not the plan. What is the plan is the better case scenario, which sees you take actions, which has always been part of the national plan.
We also got a pretty clear and strong indication from the Prime Minister today about his plan for reopening to international travel and that international border. We know earlier in the week he made it clear that state borders are ultimately a matter for the states. He does control the international border and has appeared to indicate today that we don't all have to be in it together on this one, that some states could go ahead of others in terms of opening to the world.
You said last year not everyone has to get on the bus for the bus to leave the station. Does that apply to the international border? Can you envisage opening that to a state like New South Wales that get above 80% and not waiting for states who don't want to open?
Yes, I can.
Does that happen?
Well, the national plan sets out that very clearly.
Now, this is a real shift from what we'd been hearing from senior members of the Morrison government earlier in the week. The Treasurer, when asked a similar question, said they'd like to see the nation moving together on this issue. But the Prime Minister leaving the door wide open there, Danica, for places like Sydney to reopen to the world, even if Mark McGowan over in the West doesn't want to open to Sydney either.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how states react to that comment. Trudy, thank you.